Welcome to episode 6 of the Hexagon series. This week we're going to be making this lovely hexagon here. I'm calling it the Dewdrop hexagon. There it is in green and there it is in the grey. I've called it Dewdrop because it's the same, well, a version of the Dewdrop granny square that we made with the Granny Square series. So instead of using the light blue this week, I'm going to be using the moonstone, the Stonewashed in moonstone, because I've started another blanket. I've nearly finished this blanket now, so I don't need to keep making hexagons for it. I've started a moonstone blanket to match the moonstone blanket from the Granny Square series. So a lot of the squares hexagons are going to be similar to the squares we've already made. With this Stonewashed yarn, I like to use a 4mm hook, and we're going to start by making a double magic circle and chain one. So for round one, we're going to make 6 popcorn stitches, and each popcorn stitch we will use 4 US doubles, UK trebles. So to make that first starting stitch, you can use whichever your preferred method is. I'm going to make a US single, UK double, and chain one. Make sure that chain's not too tight because we need to go back into it in a moment, yeah? So we're going to make 3 US doubles, UK trebles. So there's our 4 stitches, including that starting stitch. We're then going to make the loop big and pull the hook out. We're then going to go into that chain that we made for the starting stitch. So that's why I said don't make it too tight, otherwise it's difficult to go back in there. You're going to grab hold of your yarn, that loop, and then we're going to pull the loop through the chain. Whoops. Pinch the popcorn together and then chain 2. So that's our first popcorn. We're now going to make 5 more. So you're going to make 4 US doubles, UK trebles. They're easier to make once you're using standard stitches. After you've made your 4 stitches, pull the loop big. We're then going to go into the first stitch, take hold of the yarn and pull that through. Yeah, pinch tight and chain 2. So now we've got 2 popcorn stitches, and we're going to repeat. So make 4 stitches, US doubles, UK trebles. All the stitches in this pattern are US doubles, UK trebles, apart from your starting stitches. Yeah, once you've made your 4 stitches, make the loop big, pull the hook out, go into the first stitch, take hold of the yarn and pull through. Pinch tight and chain 2. And there we go, that's your repeat. So make 3 more stitches like so. If you're making along, you can press pause, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So I've made my 6 popcorn stitches, so we're now going to pull the circle tight. So take hold of your tail end, just give that a little pull, just to see which loop starts to tighten up first, yeah? And then you're going to take hold of the loop that started to tighten up first and pull that tight to close your circle. Yeah, keep going until the circle's closed, and then take hold of the tail and pull that tight. Yeah, and then we're going to join our circle together by just slip stitching into the chain 2 space. Pull tight and chain 1, and that's how your work should look at the end of round 1. So round 2 is a granny hexagon round. We're starting in the corner, so we're going to make that starting stitch however you like to do that. I'm going to make the US single and chain 1, but you can do chain 2 if you prefer, or if you have a different method, go for it. We're then going to chain 1 to make the corner, and then we're going to make 2 stitches into that same chain 2 space. 2 US doubles, UK trebles. We're then going to hop across to the next chain 2 space and make 2 stitches. Chain 1 to make the corner, and then 2 more stitches. And that's our repeat. In each chain 2 space we make 2 stitches, chain 1 and 2 more stitches. So if you're making along, you can press pause, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So I've just finished off making my 2 stitches, chain 1, 2 stitches into that chain 2 space, and I'm now back at the first corner where we started. So we just made 3 stitches in there, so we need to make that 4th stitch. And then to join, we're going to slip stitch into that chain space and chain 1. And that's how your work should look at the end of round 2. So for round 3, we're going to be making popcorn stitches and granny groups. Yeah, these 2 stitches together I call granny groups. So to begin, we're going to make a popcorn stitch. So however you like to make your starting stitch, and then 3 more stitches. Yeah, after you've made your 4 stitches, including that starting stitch, pull your loop big, take your hook out, and go into the chain from your starting stitch. Take hold of the yarn and pull all the way through. Pinch tight and chain 2 for the corner. We're then going to make a second popcorn stitch into that corner using 4 US doubles, UK trebles. After you've made your 4 stitches, turning it into a popcorn stitch, and then chain 1. We're now going to make 2 stitches, a granny group, in between these 2 granny groups along the edge. Yeah? So go in between the stitches and make 2 stitches. And then chain 1. We're now at the next corner, so we're going to make a popcorn stitch, when you've made your 4 stitches, we're going to turn that into a popcorn. Pinch tight, chain 2, and then make your second popcorn stitch for the corner. Oops. After you've made your popcorn stitch, chain one, and then we're going to make 2 stitches in between the granny groups. Oops. Chain one, and we're back at the corner. So that's our repeat. We're going to make a popcorn, chain 2, popcorn in each corner, then chain 1, 2 stitches, chain 1. Yeah, so if you're making along, you can press pause, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So I'm just coming up to the end of the round. I've just made my last granny group and chain 1, and now I'm going to finish off. We're going to go into that chain 2 space to slip stitch just to finish the round and chain 1, and that's how your work should look at the end of round 3. Round 4 is a granny hexagon round, so we're starting in the corner. We're going to make our starting stitch. So I've used a US single, UK double, chain 1, and then we're going to chain 1 for the corner. We're now going to make 2 more stitches into that chain 2 space, US doubles, UK trebles for the whole round, yeah? We're now along the edge, so we're going to go into each chain 1 space and make 2 stitches. So 2 stitches in the first chain 1 space, and then hop across and make 2 stitches in the next chain 1 space. And we're now at the corner, so in between those 2 popcorn stitches, we're going to make 2 stitches, chain 1, 2 stitches. So there's 1 and 2, chain 1, and 2 more stitches. Into the chain, so we've finished that corner now, along the edge into each chain 1 space, make 2 stitches, into the next space, 2 stitches, and we're at the next corner. So that's our repeat, yeah, 2 stitches in each chain 1 space, and then in the chain 2 space, 2 stitches, chain 1, 2 stitches. So if you're making along, you can press pause, and I shall see you at the end of the round. So when we get to the end of the round, I've just made 2 stitches in the chain 1 space, and we're back at the first corner. We made 3 stitches in that corner, so we need to make our fourth and last stitch. Oops, let's try again. And then to join, we're just going to slip stitch into that chain space. And that's the end of the hexagon. It's very cute, isn't it? I like it. It's simple but cute. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you in the next.